been a very long day.
No problem.
We'll make sure to keep it light and get you out of here quickly.
No problem.
How's the day been so far?
It's been good, just training and stuff like that, the usual.
Yeah, and then they got you in the full kit.
They got me all dressed up for you.
How's it feeling? How's the new kit feel?
It's really nice, it's
League.
it's pretty decent. It's pretty classic. I like the colors obviously, but yeah, in general it's a nice kit.
You were meant to wear red as the Danish diamond.
That's true.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. First off, just want to ask you, obviously, with the season on the horizon, how are you feeling and how's the team feeling?
The team is feeling good. There's a lot of new people in the team. New players need to know the tactics, all these kind of things. But in general, I think we had a very good camp. We had many trainings and a lot of trainings with the tactics and stuff like that to get that implemented for the new players. And I think it looks good. I think the victory against Kawasaki in the Super Cup really did a good boost for us and showed us that we are on the right path. And now everybody's just looking forward to get the J.League started and go from there. It's going to be a long season, but we have so many exciting games, and I think everybody's really motivated to do the best in all the competitions. Regarding myself, I feel better every day. Last season I struggled with some unlucky injuries and stuff like that, but hopefully this season will be injury free, and then I can show even more than what I did. So yeah, I also look forward to just get going again and start playing football.
Well, that was a very modest answer of you because I think you showed plenty last year. You came to Saitama and immediately hit the ground running. 5 goals in your first 5 games, Konami monthly player of the month. What for you is that experience like? I mean, obviously every player wants to make an impact. You obviously have new players in the team this year, so you can kind of show them what it's like and see their experience through your own experience. But what was that like to sort of hit the ground running and see almost everything you touch end up in the back of the net?
Yeah, it was obviously a very good experience. It's not normally something you see, and especially when me moving so far away from what I'm used to and everything. And like I said back then, I knew that at some point in the season there would be a little bit. It would be a little bit down, and then hopefully it will come up again. And that's how it is as a football player. You'll always have these ups and downs, and it's just how quickly you recover from the downs. And I started really well here, and then I had a little bit of a down during the summer, and then I think in the end I came up again, and now I'm ready to just keep moving forward and improving every day and doing the best I can. But obviously the beginning was very important to me and to the club and for the fans, because it showed the club that they've done the right decision in signing me, and I showed what I can do for this club, and it's just always a good start to a new club for a striker to score goals, obviously. So I think it was very important to start off like that, for sure.
Awesome. In terms of that first season, like obviously that's a great description of it on the pitch. That's what all of us see. We get to get that glimpse of between 0 to 90 minutes, but there's so much that happens off of it as well. Can you talk a little bit about that experience of moving to a new place? You obviously just said, it was an enormous change for you, obviously happening during a pandemic as well. What's the experience been like for you?
Yeah, there's so much to speak about. It's hard to put into words in such a short message, but it's been obviously a very nice experience. I love living here. It's a great country and people are so nice. But it's also been tough, being away and being alone. And the thing is, like, when I'm alone here, all I have is football, So 24/7 is me thinking about football, thinking about Urawa and all these things, and I don't get these things where I come home to someone and I can, relax a little bit in the mind off from football, and those things hit you some point in the season, and it also hit me during the season, of course. but that's when you just need to steer clear and get your mind right again. Yeah, obviously it's for me. It's of course the time difference from 8 hours from my home country, my family and girlfriend and stuff like that. It's very very different and something you have to get used to. And I'm not sure I'm used to it 100% yet, but as long as I play football, I do what I love, and that's the main thing. And I'm sure that will be a lot of new experience in this season also. And it's all about just keeping your mind clear and know that what's important, that is to play football and perform.
Definitely. It obviously is no substitute for having family nearby or having a time of greater ease and connection. But this year you have some teammates from places you may be more familiar with. Obviously, Alexander coming over, David in the team as well. I know Sweden and Denmark aren't the same, but certainly having some Scandinavian flair in the team. Obviously, I'm sure it will translate on the pitch, but off the pitch, what is that like for you, knowing that you've got some people maybe who are going through the same transition that you're going through or that you've been through?
Yeah, of course, it's always nice to have someone who understands where you're coming from and have a little bit the same culture, so you can like be a little bit together about these things. And now Alexander came in summer, which was really nice, and not just because it's good for me off the pitch, but he's a really a good football player and he's really helped the team. But obviously we help each other off the pitch, and it's very good, to have them to speak. And I think both him and me are trying to understand the Japanese culture every day, and I think it's not just that we are sticking together and keeping for ourselves. We want to integrate ourselves in this team and in the culture. So I think the club did a good signing with Alexander for sure, and now they signed another guy, like you said, David from Sweden. And yeah, when he comes, he will have the same all new things like us, and we will take care of him and help him for sure. And as long as he gets to play football, I think he will settle right in. And that's all it is for football players. That's the common ground, If you play football, you can be happy everywhere, and that's the important thing.
Definitely, and it's interesting too, because you mentioned a little bit the shared culture. I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true, you can tell me, that you're a fan at least of exploring the food culture, the gastronomic culture in Japan. I'm not sure if you found anything as delicious in the world as is it a Rodepulser? Is that it? That's the most delicious thing I've ever had in my life. So I don't know if you've ever found anything quite that good, but what are some of the things you've been excited to eat and explore in Japan?
Yeah, like the food here is amazing, and that's just something that I came and just straight away loved. The quality is amazing. There's always like different kind of things, and everything just tastes great. It's just so good. Except I haven't learned to eat this natto yet. That's the next thing on the list maybe. But that one will be hard for me. But the rest is so good. And yeah, I love the meat here. It's amazing. The steaks, the chicken is amazing here. And yeah, it's just sometimes you have to get used to eating a little more rice than you're used to at home. In Denmark we eat a lot of potatoes, and here they eat a lot of rice, so that's one thing to get used to. But in general, both me and Alexander really loves the food here, and nothing to complain about that at all.
Very good to hear. That's a very important aspect of life. So I'm glad it's passed the test. Back on the pitch, Urawa are back in continental competition. Congratulations on the Emperor's Cup victory. How excited are you to play in a new competition? What have you heard about it, and what are your expectations for it?
It's amazing, both for my career, but also for the club again to be back there. And I'm really excited to play the Asian Champions League for sure. And that's one of the things I said when I came here. I want to win, and I want to win a title. And we won the Emperor's Cup, and then qualify for ACL is amazing. And I know how much it means for the club and for the fans, and that just makes it even better, But obviously, I'm really excited to meet other teams in Asia, to see the culture, to to see how is the level. You know, it's just for me, like I said when I came here, I love exploring, I love seeing new things, I love all these things, and ACL is just another step in that direction. And it's good for the career for every around the team. It's every player's opportunity to do something historical, and if you play good in the ACL, or even if you win it, you will have a really good CV in your career, and you will not be forgotten. You know, so it's a perfect opportunity for everyone to really show themselves and make something out of their career.
Definitely. And someone who's also made a name for themselves already with Urawa is your manager, Ricardo Rodriguez, winning Manager of the Year last season. I know you mentioned a bit at the beginning of the interview about the changing style of play, bringing people into the fold, new players needing to learn, and the impact that victory over Kawasaki had to that end. What's it been like for you? I mean, what is it like to play under him? And do you think that there's maybe a steeper learning curve under him than other managers, or is it pretty easy for those newer players to pick up?
Yeah, well, you know, it's always difficult to speak about the managers because they are everyone is so different and have their own tactics, and obviously Ricardo's style is pretty obvious. You know, he loves the possession, he loves the very strong defensive work, and being good in the defensive part, and pretty much always keeping the clean sheet is very important to him. And he demands a lot from his players, and obviously if you can live under those terms, then you you can perform very well. But I think some of the players also recognize now coming here that the demands are much higher than what they came from before, and that's where you need to show what kind of football player you are. You need to perform. You need to keep those demands high, and show yourself. It's all about showing yourself what you're made of, and obviously I think it was very good for the new players, like I said, to win the Super Cup, to show that his style is compatible to be in a top team. And yeah, it's always exciting to try new styles and learn from new managers and all these things. And I think I hope we're on the right path. It's difficult to say before the league starts, you know, but I think that the team looks fresh and good.
Definitely. I mean, I think anyone can see the transition that's been made, and the progress that's been made. One thing that will change this year compared to last year is obviously a lot of the veteran leadership on the team is no longer here. Tomoaki Makino over to Vissel Kobe, Shinzo Kurogi to Consadole, and then obviously Yuki Abe is retired. I'm sure that has an impact on and off the pitch, but it obviously opens up a gap as well for new leaders to step into the fray. How much are you being tasked with that, and how much can you sense an opportunity for you to step into a new role already, even just in your second season?
Yeah, well, like you said, it's it's now time for other people to step into that light, and that's what's important in a big club like this, because that's, like I said, this is, you need to show what you're made of, and that's another opportunity to someone to show their leadership, and I want to step into that light, obviously, also given that I experienced something before, winning a league title in Scandinavia and playing some European games. And I think it's a good opportunity, especially for me and some of the other players, also to step into that light, and just show what you're made of. And as a foreigner, also, I think it's important that we really show our best side. And I think there are a couple of players in the team that can really show their leadership, and I'm not so worried about this thing. I think we have a good couple of leaders. So but in general, in the end, it's all about everybody stepping up. You know, not necessarily the new players taking the leadership, but still just doing their thing, showing themselves every day, doing the best they can. Then I think we should be fine.
So you mentioned a bit the league titles in Scandinavia. I'm not going to take you all the way back to Vejle, but I'm going to take you. I'm going to take you to Norway at least, and let's talk about that experience. Obviously, under two different teams you really exploded. I mean, it seemed like to the informed viewer, at least, that your game really found its own, and that was obviously how Urawa found you. Did things, like, from your perspective, did things change at that stage in your career? Did you start playing differently? Was there something unique, or was it just sort of a culmination of the process?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like I haven't always been the guy who's always been in the first team and all these things. So I came from a little bit behind, and when you do that, you always have to take a little bit extra time to find yourself. And some find yourself in 22 years old, and some normally with strikers it's a little bit older. And for me, I was a little bit older before I could really find my game. But the most important thing was like coming there, coming into a certain playing style, and the coach really helping me, and the style of the coach was amazing, and that really suited me very, very well. And obviously the team and everything was just a combination of just great, culture, and that's the same culture I think we tried to build here, because that culture was just born winners. It's just everyone wanted to win, and everyone did what they had to do to win the games, and they were just really focused. And yeah, so I think everybody could see that, and still see they also won the league last season, so they have something good going on there. And for me, I really learned a lot staying there 1 year, and I appreciate it.
That's great to hear. I mean, I think it's everyone can see sort of what's being built in Urawa, and it seems like there are a lot of parallels there. So we taken you to the past. Quickly before I let you go, I'm going to take you to the future. What does the future hold for you? I mean, you can bring the timeline out however far you want. A year, 3 years, 5 years. What's in your mind as far as goals for you and where you want to be?
Yeah, I never did much thinking about the future like that, but for me, the only word for me is just to win. I just want to win. I just want to win something in Urawa, something more. I like, this season has so many opportunities to do something great, and we need to take them. And we can, with a good season here, we can really, really be historic. A historic team if we win the Emperor's Cup last season, and now we have the opportunity to do even better. And that's just, we have to appreciate that we put ourselves in a situation where we can really just put ourselves in the history books of Urawa. And how amazing could that be to do that in such a big club, in Asia. And that's what I strive for, to take this season, and then let's see what next season brings. But this season is what is on my mind now, and I just want to win.
I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kasper. Really appreciate the time. I know it's been a long day. Good luck for the season, and hopefully we'll speak soon.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Like, subscribe, push notification.